All right, Aaron, on today's edition of the Thrive Time Show, we're interviewing Jeremy Parker.
Yes, sir.
He's the founder of swag.com, and I wanted to play some music that kind of felt kind of swaggy, you know, through the intro.
Yeah, this is good.
Now, when I picture this is what I picture. I picture that my wife, or someone that my wife knows, has gone to IKEA and gotten us some really cool, swagalicious furniture.
Yeah.
Minimalist.
Yeah.
It doesn't encourage the lack of accoutrements and decor in the design is what is the design.
Yes.
And I find myself opening the box, looking, going, wow, this is this is an amazing table.
Yes.
And then I find myself reading this blueprint on how to make the furniture. It's written in hieroglyphics.
Oh.
And I find myself getting irritated.
Yeah.
And then recognizing that's why I don't go to IKEA. That's what this music makes me think of. What does this what does this music make you think of?
That's so good. It kind of makes me feel like, you know, like when you go out on that first date.
Oh, wow.
And you like think you're smelling good and you think you're looking good. And then you show up and she has like a really pronounced Adam's apple. And you're like, wait a minute.
I hate when that happens.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we are interviewing an incredible guest and a man who's actually done what many would call the American dream. I mean, Aaron Antis, you run Oklahoma's largest home building company, and you've had some success in the game of business.
Yes, sir.
How would you define the American dream? The American dream.
Well, you know, many years ago it was owning your own home, and then about 20 years ago it shifted over to owning your own successful business. So for me, it's being able to go out and do what I'm passionate about every day and help people and make money.
I think a lot of people want to build their own successful company. I think a lot of people want to do that.
I agree.
And if you're out there today and you're saying, I want to grow my own successful company, how do I do that? I think you might want to listen to today's show as we interview the co-founder and the CEO of swag.com. A website apparently named after you, Aaron, swag.com.
Yeah,
Jeremy Parker, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
So tell us here, where did you first get this idea to start swag.com, and what is swag.com?
So swag.com is the best place for companies to buy and distribute quality promotional products that you'll actually want to keep. So what we've done is we streamlined the best of what's out there and made it really easy for office managers or marketing teams or HR teams to buy swag, promotional products, really high quality, and be able to send it to their office, ship it to 1,000 different addresses, engaging with the remote employees, sending swag to the best leads to help close sales, sending swag to their best customers to engage with them. And our platform has been growing since 2016 when we launched, growing over 100% year over year. In 2016, we did about 350,000 in sales, 2017, 1 million, 2018, 3 million, 2019, 7 million. And last year, the whole industry was down over 20%, and we were up over 100%. And we did about 15.5 million in sales last year. Yep. So just trying to make the experience really good for companies.
I don't want to paint you into a corner, but I'm going to paint you into a corner. Who invented the koozie, my friend? The I believe to be the cornerstone of the swag industry. Do you know who the founder of? Do you know much about?
I don't know who the founder. No, I don't.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now let me ask you this: what are the hottest items that all the kids are wanting today? The items that all the people they say this is the most swagalicious product. What's the one that everybody wants at swag.com?
Can I be honest with you? We're all about quality stuff. So we're all about stuff that people actually want to keep.
Like
koozies?
There's
tons of products out there. There's like the highlighter that's also an eraser, and it's crazy stuff. But we like to sell products that people want to keep. And it doesn't have to be about, look at me, I'm a walking billboard. It could be about products that you personally wear, a pair of really nice knitted socks that only the recipient will get. or backpacks with the logo that has inside the bag so no one even sees it on the outside. It's all about the recipient getting the swag, using it, them seeing every day, and ultimately becoming an evangelist for the brand and wanting to, promote it and shout it from the rooftops.
Let's focus on what I think you really want to focus on. Let's go back to koozies.
I have the answer, by the way, Clive.
How often are people buying koozies there, sir? I mean, would that count as a classy item in your opinion? Or do people want those things, Jeremy Parker?
Yeah, I think every company wants certain different things, and we sell tons of koozies. I wouldn't say it's the most popular. I would say about 40% of our products are like apparel, sweatshirts, jackets, T-shirts. 20% is drinkware, very popular. Drinkware mugs, like really high quality water bottles. Backpacks are really popular. Notebooks, office supplies, just stuff that people really want to use every single day. So I guess koozies would fit into that bucket.
Now,
it
Aaron,
has to be the best of the koozies.
Yeah, listen, now I want the listeners to know this, folks. A lot of times people say, sometimes on your shows, you guys get obsessed. Clay, you get obsessed with a specific rabbit trail, and you won't get back to the main subject. And I'm telling you this, who am I to deviate from the cue cards that I shamelessly read from Aaron Antis, my favorite co-writer? No, but seriously, Aaron, tell us who invented the koozie?
Well, it's the most famous Idahoan, Bonnie McGough.
Who didn't know that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I think we're all going, I know who that is.
Yeah, it was back in the 1980s.
Okay, so we'll continue. So how does one go about starting swag.com? Were you one day looking in the mirror going, I'm pretty swagalicious. I think I'll start swag.com. Did you find where did the idea come from? How did you start swag.com?
Yeah, so I was actually a documentary film major in college. So I was thinking maybe I would go down the filmmaking route. But after I graduated college, I wanted to just learn how to start a business. I didn't know anything about anything in terms of business. And I started a T-shirt company, when I was about 21, 22 years old. And the idea was to sell super high-end graphic design T-shirts, like really high-end, $200 T-shirts, crazy
$200 T-shirts?
Some were even $300. Really
Is that a real thing?
T-shirts. It was a real thing. Yeah, we were selling to about 40 different stores all over the country and international. And this is in 2007. So if you could take yourself back in 2007, this is when the recession hit.
Do you live in L.A.?
No, I'm from New York City.
People are dropping $200 on a shirt in New York City?
Whoa.
It wasn't me personally, but there was a lot of people. There's a company called Ed Hardy that was selling these crazy tattoo apparel T-shirts. I don't know if you're familiar with Ed Hardy, selling all over the place. And we thought we could get into that ring. This is my 22-year-old self. Really, the main purpose was just for me to learn what I was good at, what I was bad at, what I enjoyed about business. And I thought a T-shirt company was a good place to start.
So Ed Hardy, is that the name of the company? Ed Hardy?
Yeah, there was a company called Ed Hardy. Our company was called Tees and Tats. Horrible name, impossible to hear and spell. So I wouldn't recommend that. I think pick a name that people could actually hear and understand. Swag.com is a little better.
Got it.
But I started this T-shirt company. We launched in the recession. All the stores were going it was horrible. And I came up with this marketing initiative at this time to tie the price of the shirts to the price of the Dow Jones. So for every 100 points of Dow drop, we would give people a discount on their T-shirt price. This got picked up by Ad Age. This got picked up by Mark Cuban's Blog Maverick, and ultimately got me in touch with the CEO of MV Sport. Now, MV Sport is one of the largest players in the promotional product space. And when I met with the CEO of MV Sport, we hit it off and we became kind of friendly. And he basically said, I will allow you to start any company under my label and I'll support you. So I learned the ins and the outs of the promotional product space when I was 22 years old. And I saw how broken, how fragmented it was, who the buyer was, and all the kind of problems that I've realized. And you fast forward 10 years, the industry has just grown, but it still remained fragmented, still remained broken and old, except the buyer shifted. And when I realized that the buyer is no longer a 40, 50-year-old office manager, it's a 23-year-old, it's a 25-year-old. They're buying on behalf of their company. They want things to be super automated and streamlined. They don't want to have to sift through catalogs, and they want to be able to just see what are the top products in each category. They don't want to have to use a phone call to place an order. They would rather upload their logo, mock it up, price it out, check out in real time. So once we realized this, we said, let's build the go-to brand in the space and just make it really easy for companies to buy.
Are you married? Are you married?
I am married, yep.
Okay, let me tell you. Hey, James, can you pass me that catalog over there? I'm going to how old are you there, sir? How old are you?
I'm 35.
You talking about PMH? Is that what you
Yeah,
want?
I'm going to pass it over. I'm telling you this. Let me you're talking about how people don't want to use catalogs. Now, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just going to tell you, this to me is a perfect Tuesday night. I come home, hang out with my wife, my kids, and I say, I'll be back. I'm going to go to the restroom. And I'll go and I'll look here at pergolas and outdoor kitchens. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to flip through.
No,
I might even place a call,
Quality time. With
wait
the
on
catalog.
hold,
Yeah.
see how much something costs.
Yeah.
James, do you ever do that?
Did you go through the order process
I'll
and
get
then
out of
just
the
drop
restroom.
out at the end? Is that what you're going to
I'm,
do?
I'm going to
Have a-
I'm going to go out, get out of the restroom before I place the call.
Have a curt, underpaid employee just kind of be rude with you
I'm
on
being
the phone.
serious. Do you guys
when they
not?
called
I
it.
like
Yeah,
this
take
kind
the
of
call.
stuff. You guys
I
don't-
enjoy catalogs. Yes, I do.
You do? You
Yes,
do?
I
Oh,
do. Yes, I do.
oh.
I have them for not swag, but I have them for other things.
Really? I like them.
Is it men's lingerie, James? Is that what it is?
Customizable.
Oh, nice. No, but so you're saying that the younger whippersnappers who are buying the swag for their companies,
Yeah.
they don't want to flip to the catalog.
For sure, they don't. And by the way,
there's-
that catalog looks pretty thin. The traditional promotional catalogs are like 20, 30 times that.
And their
It's a-
pages
it's a
are like
book.
super,
It's a
super
huge
thin.
book.
Its pages are
Hey,
super, super thin.
Listen, Mr. Swag. Video makes the catalogs appear thinner than they are. This is about what 9 inches thick, guys.
Eight, at least
8 inches. This is all right. Okay, so you go to Swag. For anybody listening right now, you can go to swag.com and you can buy the promotional gear for your company. And I got a few more rude questions. Then we're going to go round table, which means there's a table that's not round. Well, elements of the table are round, but the people here are going to ask you questions, and some of which have had no idea who you were previous to today. So they're going to be asking questions. But I have a few more questions. How did you start? How did you get your first 10 customers? Like, how did you actually go get your first 10 customers, and how did you finance the company?
Sure. Yes. So we were in the beginning very self-financed. Me and my co-founder Josh would invest our own money. I think we put in about $22,000 in the beginning. We wanted to get the swag.com brand name. It was very important for us to own that brand because and it's been paying dividends. And we obviously didn't have that money. The person who owned swag.com as a name wanted $1.2 million for it.
Oh,
He was
wow.
asking a ton of money. We ultimately were able to negotiate him down to $200,000.
Get out of here.
Yep. It was still obviously crazy expensive, but we were able to bring it down. And then we still didn't have that money. So what we did is we worked out a relationship with this owner where we could exclusively license the name for a 2-year period with the option to buy. So from day one, without having any money, we'll give them a little bit of equity in the business, be able to use the domain name for 2 years, up to 2 years, prove the model, show that it works, and then be able to use all the sales that we made or be able to raise money at a later date to buy that domain name. And that's what we did. 6 months later, we made enough sales. We were able to justify raising a little bit to acquire the name.
How did you afford to pay your homie, $22,000 a year? Did you have a second job? Did you tap into your life savings? Did you sell organs?
No, I'm 35 now. When I was 25 years old, I started another business that ultimately sold to a publicly traded company. So I had a little bit of money saved up. I was just waiting for the right opportunity to use it. And then we basically said, we have a little bit of money. I could quit my job. I was making, a great salary at a company, ended up quitting it, saying I have some money saved up. I was single at this time. I was 30 years old.
Wow.
And I thought, let me just invest in and go all into it. And to get to first companies, obviously we had no marketing budget. We had no website. It was just a landing page at this point of swag.com.
Swag.com.
And we just knocked on doors. I went to Facebook and I sold to Facebook. And then I went to WeWork and they said, who else do you work with? And I said, Facebook. And they probably assumed we had thousands of other customers, but really it was just Facebook. And then we repeated this cycle because our feeling from the very early
Were
days.
you emailing people? Were you calling people? How
I
were
was
you?
emailing. I was showing up at the office. I would spend days literally walking up and down WeWork offices to different small startups. I was, anything. I mean, we were traveling salesmen, showing up on
How did you structure your day, bro? Like, what time did you get up every day? And then how were you? Did you spend your whole day marketing?
Yeah, in the early days, it was all about getting that first 15, 20 blue chip companies. So like I do anything. You wake up in the morning, you work out, and then you just start the day like anything. But you made it priority at that point. In business, what I've realized is there's always different times to do different kind of marketing channels.
Yep.
So in the early days, we had no budget. So it was all about outbound sales. Like we were the salespeople. And then it became, well, now that we have a little bit of money, let's start advertising in Google. But Google's super expensive. And then you start advertising SEO and start writing content and doing all these different things. And now at this point, our business, we're doing over 15 million a year. This year, we should be doing over 30 million a year in sales. Constantly trying to double year, every single month, getting double the previous month. But it just becomes more and more that we're just adding on top of it.
So you went. I mean, did you make like 100 calls a day? Did you go door to door? Like to 10? Did you have like some sort of metric for how much activity you would do per day?
Yeah, in the beginning, it didn't really matter about the actual sales dollar or making money.
Yeah.
That wasn't really the priority. The main priority in the early days was just to get those blue chip companies. So we wanted to get Facebook,
Dude.
and then we wanted to get WeWork, and we wanted to
Yes.
get Bravo. So we pinpointed big company names that if somebody showed up to swag.com and they saw that row of logos, they would say, "Oh, instantly, will we feel confident using swag.com?"
Quick
Now we
time
have
out.
5,000 companies.
Quick time out. I want to make sure everyone gets this because this is so powerful what Jeremy's talking about here, okay? Nobody talks about this. There's all these shows about, I got this big idea, the big logo, the big, all that, the big website name, swag.com, great name, swag.com, great. I love the name. The idea, Swagalicious products, I love the idea. Swag for a company, great idea, Aaron, great domain.
Yeah.
But if you have no sales, you will fails.
Truth.
And then so then your idea, you end up going back to the bathroom, looking at your catalog, going,
At that point, you can only
well,
dream.
I
You
wish
can
I
only dream
would.
at
You
that
can only
point.
dream at
You
that
can only
point.
dream.
But well, this guy, he says, I'm going to put the catalog down. I'm going to leave the bathroom. I'm going to go door to door. I'm going to go. I'm going to cold call. We call this top down marketing on this show. This is hot.
It is
Hot.
hot.
This is like a sauna. This is so hot.
Yes.
So what you do then is you begin to get the big names. And Aaron, you know this, our upcoming workshop. People are like, well, how did you get General Flynn? Well, how did you get Sidney Powell? How did you get Lynn Wood? Listen, people, if you get a big name or two or three or four, everybody wants to join the party.
Yep.
That's how you build a big dance party. If you want to organize a dance party, get the popular kids to the dance party. This is how it works. That's how I built DJConnection.com, throwing massive parties, and you get big, famous people there, and then other people want to be there. That's just how, that is hot.
That is hot.
This is hot.
That's good.
This right here. Now, sir, if we want to buy something on swag.com right now, can we buy something on swag.com? Is it hard to buy things?
No, 2 seconds. Literally less than
seconds.
2
Aaron?
minutes. You can find something, upload your logo. Our system detects how many colors are in your logo, the nearest Pantone match.
Okay, here we go.
Prices out in real time. Check out.
I'm going to
Super
sell
simple.
you something, and you sell me something, okay, Jeremy?
All right, let's do it.
And James, can you grab my credit card real quick? Let's buy
Yeah,
something.
sure.
Let's
Is it
go.
in your bag?
It's in my bag. Yeah, let's go to swag.com. We're going to go there. We're going to buy something right now. A lot of show hosts might say, listen, I'm not going to take my show I'm not going to commercialize my show. Like you would never hear classy shows. Like Tim Ferriss would never take time out of his show to buy something on the show, would he?
I don't
He's
think
too
it-
classy. No, you wouldn't see it. But we're going to do, there's classy shows,
Yeah.
and then there's assy shows.
Well,
we're
yeah,
more
I
on the
mean-
assy
I mean,
variety. So
I
we're going to.
remember when you got the URL that you weren't going to pay 1.2 million. I think it was
Okay.
maybe $1.20, but you got that one URL of notalentaskclown.com.
Right.
And then,
I did buy that
similar.
URL. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I got my card out here. Now I'm going to go to swag.com. Aaron, you going to swag.com?
I'm there.
Okay, can I give you my card so you can make a purchase on behalf of the Thrive
Sure.
Time show?
Yeah.
What can we buy for about $30 there, sir? What can we buy
I'll
for?
do it on my computer,
There.
Aaron.
Okay, all right. James is going to do it. But one of the first things I came to is like those 17-ounce swag bottle.
17-ounce
They
swag
range
bottle?
from $13 to $61.39. And if I could put my logo on this, I mean, I could use this as a club. I could hit somebody over the head with it and knock them out. I could drink out of it. That's probably what it was created for.
Beautiful. You can probably open a door
I
with
could-
it.
If I bought 10 of them, I could roll a ball down a lane. And
Now, James,
it'd be
you,
like
hopefully
bowling.
you have my
I mean,
address
there's a
because I'm
lot
not
of
going to give it
uses
over
for
the show, but people can you can buy
Okay.
something right now, okay?
Yeah.
And then if it's okay, I'd like to sell our guest something. Does that sound fair?
That sounds
Yeah,
fair.
pergola.
Yeah.
Pergola.
Okay.
With a hot tub. With
No,
a
no,
hot
I
tub.
won't try to sell you something, but I seriously, we're gonna buy something from you now. As we're checking out, we're buying some things. Hopefully, you're making some money. Final question, and I'll open up for the town hall. Do you make money when you sell things?
Yes, I think that's the goal. But honestly, truthfully, it sounds like a funny question. Our first year, it wasn't about that.
There it is.
Was just getting those row of logos. It was about learning the experience, who the buyer is, why they like buying it, how can we build them the right platform. Yeah, but obviously, at this point, we're a business. We have nearly 60 employees.
Yep.
It's important to make money as a business.
But nobody understands this idea. What you do is that first year or two, you go out there, you're working to learn. You're just trying to learn. The year 2 or 3, you're looking to earn. Year 1 or 2, though, folks, you're just trying to learn. What do people like? What do they not like? How do I fulfill? What will sell? What works? What website works? How to optimize the page? All that. Year 2 or 3, you're starting to earn. And now, once you nail it, you're going to scale it. Where's the company going to go here, Jeremy? Where do you see the future of swag.com?
Yeah, I mean, our goal, where are we now? 2021. Our goal in 2023 is to break 100 million in sales for the year.
Nice.
Are you living in boxes back there? Are there boxes behind you and a trophy? Is there a trophy back there?
There's a couple of trophies. There's different stuff. Yep, for sure.
Did you give yourself a trophy, or how did you get those? Are you a bowler?
I'm not a bowler. 120, maybe 125 score pins.
Where did you get that trophy for? Was that a Taekwondo trophy? Is it a bowling trophy?
Oh, I used to be a good athlete, so it was the best camp athlete.
Really?
I just moved into my apartment, so this is all very unboxing.
Can we look at the trophy?
Yeah, for sure. 1 second.
Are you going to sell it on swag.com? Is that something that we can? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Now, we can't buy that on. Oh, look at that. Camp Seneca Lake Best Athlete 1999. That's hot. You can't buy that on swag.com, though, can you?
Can't buy it. Unfortunately, no. But you can buy trophies. I think that we do sell trophies now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of companies buy trophies showing appreciation, top salesmen, all those kind of things.
So we have 5 minutes left. It's now time for the town hall. Aaron, what's your question? Then we'll go to Eugene, and then we'll go to our friend James. James and Eugene are both attorneys, and so the show tends to get litigious whenever we have these two people on the show.
Yeah. Basically what you started with was what we would call the Dream 100, just going after like those organizations or companies or people that you wanted to get as a part of your parade so that people will jump on the bandwagon with you. What was your super move to just get those people to jump on board with you? Because there's a lot of people who are starting their own businesses right now that are probably out there that are listeners, and they're like, I just need to get that big name on board with us. I'm sure you've brought several on since. So was there a really cool move that you did that you found out was really working for you?
For the early days, it was really showing up. Honestly, it was reaching out to companies on LinkedIn and then showing up, being a traveling salesman, bringing a bag of swag and showing the products in person and doing real dedicated in-person touch points. That was very important early on. Since then, we haven't done any outbound sales.
I can't stay home in bed and sleep until 11.
Well, now we can. In the last 5 years, we have over 6,000 companies that buy from us at this point, and we haven't done any outbound sales in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Our first year was all about the outbound. It was me and my co-founder just knocking on doors. The last 5 years, no outbound whatsoever. It's complete inbound. So different points in the life cycle of the business, things change. Right in the beginning, we had no other resources. We didn't have a website. We had to use that personal touch. Now it's all about low friction, an e-commerce experience that's automated and simple to find what you're looking for and easy to buy. So the whole business really did shift over from the first year till where it is right now, and it was by design. It's not just that. We started the manual way because we wanted to learn. Exactly what you said earlier. It's all about learning. So once we learn what the right product is to build, then we built that product. And now it's just about optimizing and refining and making it better.
Okay, guys, final 4 minutes. Time for 3 final questions here. Eugene, you're an attorney. I'll move this mic over here just briefly. This is Eugene. You can see Eugene on the camera. Eugene,
Eugene.
Here we go. There he is. This is Eugene. We can get him on camera here. He's an attorney from L.A., and very, very litigious. He might sue me or you at any point. We don't know. We're worried. Eugene, what question do you have?
Hey, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
My biggest question is, you said you got an initial start where someone kind of let you work under their umbrella. How did you meet that person, and what are the things that kind of led to that relationship with one of your initial company?
We were written up in this big magazine called Ad Age. And Mark Cuban from the Mavericks also has a blog called Blog Maverick, ended up writing a story about me in this blog that just got a lot of exposure. And we just met this CEO from MV Sport because of that. It was just a connection from a connection.
Yeah.
He read the article and he wanted to meet. And when I met with him, we just hit it off. We just used to brainstorm ideas. And at this time I was 22, and obviously he was running a big company, 900 plus employees, but we really, really just hit it off. And at some point after meeting with him, 10, 20 different times, he said, I love the way you think, and I would love to, fund an initiative if you want to start something under our label. And they were really big in collegiate apparel. So they have all the licensing agreements to all these different college universities. And I had an idea that what if we could make collegiate apparel cool? Now, I went to Boston University, and I never bought a BU t-shirt. But I thought, wouldn't it be great if all the students could reimagine the school's logo and do a design contest with a winning design, would sell at the bookstore, the basketball stadium, on t-shirts, and make it really fun. And they loved the idea. And we ended up launching at a lot of different schools from Oregon State and Purdue and University of Maryland and all these different schools. So I learned the ins and the outs of promotional products, but from a really collegiate standpoint. But I knew who the buyer was. And the buyer was this 40, 50-year-old. And I realized the buyer was shifting over the last 10 years. And I thought it'd be a really great opportunity to to jump in and try to do something a little bit different.
Now, our next person to ask you a question, you do a follow-up question?
Yeah, well, quick
Oh, wow,
follow-up.
wow.
I think a lot of people, especially in Los Angeles and kind of worldwide, they want to know the kind of things they can say. Do you recall some of the things you said in some of those meetings, that kind of that put faith and trust in that individual to have confidence in you without it being like bragging about yourself or trying to, kind of kiss up to them? Do you remember some of those things that you said to kind of build that bridge?
I think early on, and this is with everything, I think if you bring value to anything, it's not about like promoting yourself or hyping yourself up. Not usually. On podcasts, you could hype yourself up a little bit, but in a person in a meeting, I think it's just bringing value and coming up with ideas. And if they look at you and saying, wow, Jeremy has some really great ideas, we want to be around Jeremy. Jeremy is bringing some value to their business. I think it's all about just bringing value. So if you can bring value to somebody, I think they'll want to be around you and they'll want to help you out as well.
I used to just take photos of them in compromising positions.
And you would
then
just say,
kind of manipulate
here
the
are some things I
situation.
wanted to go over.
Yeah, and it typically works pretty well.
Your mafia
Similar.
background has really come out to benefit the listeners. By the way, folks, if you're looking up Aaron Antis, you want to type in Deep State Aaron Antis. That's his nickname, Deep State Aaron Antis. Okay. Final question here from James. He's an attorney. He's known for litigation. Oftentimes with litigation, even within this room. I mean,
Eugene and I are litigating right now.
he ends conversations with, hey, I'll sue you later. James, what's your attorney website? What's your website, Chief?
We've got thelawyerjames.com, thelawyerjames.com.
Thelawyerjames.com. And
That's
don't mess
right.
with him or he'll sue you.
That's right.
Okay, so James, what final question do you have for the founder of swag.com?
All right, Jeremy, I understand. All right, so you said something about 5,000 to 6,000 companies you work with now. You don't make any sales. You haven't made sales in 5 years. Everybody comes to you. How do you decide on what products to carry and, more importantly, what products to not carry? And what sort of crazy stuff have you had thrown at your way before and you're like, I could never, ever put this on my website?
You're giving him 60 seconds to answer a question like that? You are
easy.
sick.
Yeah, like do you
Okay.
do like logos on adult diapers and things like that? Or what? Tell us what some of the...
Jeremy, back to you.
We haven't done that, but we've done some crazy products. We've sold cast iron skillets before, which is not what I would ever think about selling. But when everyone started working remote during this past year pandemic, we started to see a lot of work from home type of products like pajamas and slippers and puzzles and different fun things that you could do at home. And a lot of people wanted to be cooking. So we got a lot of like baking sheets with people putting their logos on and cast iron skillets and all these different things I never envisioned us selling, but it sells well and it's really high quality stuff. So,
Jeremy, I know you're not coming onto this show to get business tips, but I'll just point this out to you. If you spell swag backwards, as we all did when you mentioned it, it's gauze.
Yes.
GAWS.com.
Yeah.
And I think that the name gauze would probably be less money than swag.com.
Probably.
And it's more catchy, don't you think? I mean, how often, Aaron, do you find yourself going,
Yeah.
hey, look at that incredible gauze over there?
Yeah.
Don't we all
I cut myself. Do you have any
gauze? And I'm like, no,
handy?
you're spelling it wrong. And you're like, that's how I spell it.
Right.
I mean, I think you missed the boat. Would you agree?
Probably. Yeah.
Just wanted you to know. We're here for
I
you.
appreciate that. No, I'm going to look into it after this call for sure.
All right, you look into it. All right, swag.com, ladies and gentlemen. That's swag.com. It's Jeremy Parker, the co-founder and CEO of swag.com. If you own a business or you want to and you're looking for some swag that you're not embarrassed to pass out, some stuff that's going to be a good representation of your brand, I encourage you to check out swag.com. That's swag.com. And if you don't like yourself and you want to get involved in litigation, go see the lawyer James. James, you work with small business owners, big business owners. I mean, really, the size of their body doesn't determine whether you'll take them on as a client, right?
Oh, right. Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Take care, my friend Jeremy. I do appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, brother. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!